Walmart generated an astonishing $572 billion in revenue in 2021, employing over 2 million people, making it the world's largest employer and biggest retailer by sales. Building this empire wasn't simple. It began with a poor farmer, Sam Walton, who, after being told he had no retail career, decided to open his own store. Born March 28, 1918, in Kingfisher, Oklahoma, Sam's father, Thomas, a farmer, couldn't earn enough for the family. They moved frequently, seeking better opportunities, eventually settling in Columbia, Missouri. As a teenager, Sam helped the family with small jobs, observing how his father profited from small business deals and how his mother ran a successful milk business, which involved Sam milking cows and delivering milk after football practice. His parents instilled in him the value of hard work and the effort required to earn a dollar. However, Sam's home life wasn't ideal. His father Thomas was rarely home, constantly traveling for extra money, which strained his relationship with his wife. Sam described his parents as the two most quarrelsome people to ever live together in his autobiography. To escape domestic issues, Sam immersed himself in sports, joined the Boy Scouts, and took on various leadership roles, keeping him busy. After graduating from David H. Hickman High School in 1935, Sam attended the University of Missouri to pursue business. He supported himself through odd jobs like delivering newspapers and waiting tables for meals. In spring 1940, he got his first taste of retail as a sales trainee at J.C. Penney, then a small shop in Des Moines, Iowa, earning $75 a week. This job wasn't smooth. Sam was considered one of J.C. Penney's worst employees. His bookkeeping was terrible because he disliked making customers wait while he dealt with paperwork. In fact, his boss once threatened to fire him, even stating he had no career in retail. Sam's saving grace was his gift for salesmanship, which earned him an extra $25 a month in sales commissions. When World War II reached America in 1941, Walton was eager to serve. He quit his job the following year and joined the U.S. Army, recognizing his natural leadership. The Army selected him for the military's intelligence corps, where he rose to captain. Sam was stationed in Oklahoma in April 1942, where he met his future wife Helen. They married on Valentine's Day in 1943. By the war's end in 1945, Walton had a wife and child to support, prompting him to start his own retail business. With a $20,000 loan from his father-in-law and $5,000 of his own savings, Sam bought a Ben Franklin store in Newport, Arkansas. It's noteworthy that millions of small American stores failed in the 20th century, and this particular store was losing significant money when Sam bought it. Not only did Sam invest in an unprofitable store, but he also paid too much for it. The rent, 5% of sales, initially seemed acceptable to Walton. But after signing, he discovered it was the highest rate anyone had ever paid for a variety store. Despite these obstacles, Sam succeeded beyond all expectations. He studied traditional retail rules and then broke those he deemed illogical, which for him was almost all of them. When Sam bought the Ben Franklin store, he was required to purchase all goods from company outlets. However, he found a contract clause, allowing him to buy merchandise elsewhere. He then reduced his goods costs far below what other shops charged. He made profit on volume rather than margin, a concept that took him nearly a decade to fully grasp. Nothing Sam did was extraordinary, nor was he a genius. While undeniably business smart, his real success stemmed from his core policy making. Customers lives easier. Because of this, more and more people bought from him. Once Sam's business thrived, he asked his brother Bud to join him, and together they managed the store more smoothly. The Butler brothers, who owned the store Sam leased, were unhappy that the Waltons sourced merchandise elsewhere. But they couldn't object much due to Sam's unmatched sales figures. His sales increased over 45%, reaching $105,000 in his first full year of ownership. The following year, sales rose again to $140,000. By the third year, sales increased another 25%, reaching $175,000 after only 3 years. Sam fully repaid the $20,000 loan from his father-in-law. 2 years later, Sam had become the leading variety store owner in Arkansas. and likely in neighboring states too. But the truth is, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because the business was destined to fail. When Sam Walton signed his store's lease in 1945, it contained no renewal clause. Lease renewal options were typically standard features. So when Walton's father-in-law discovered this oversight, he was shocked Sam could have made such a mistake. Walton had not only built one of Newport's most successful businesses, but he had invested his body and soul into the business and the town. And his wife Helen equally loved the town, as 3 of their 4 children were born there. Sam Walton is quoted saying, "It was the lowest point of my life. I felt sick to my stomach. I had built the best variety store in the whole region and worked hard in the community, done everything right, and now I was being kicked out of town." After being forced out of his own store, Sam Walton was eager to start again, this time determined to do it correctly and even better. He began searching for a new location to buy another store until he found one in the tiny community of Bentonville, Arkansas. It was here that Walton set up his second shop in the town square, and this time he insisted on a 99-year lease. Sam opened his new store in the summer of 1950 and called it Walton's Five and Dime. The Walton family often overheard people whispering, "Well, we'll give this guy 60 days, maybe 90. He won't last that long." But Sam would prove them wrong. At the time, 2 other variety stores existed in town, but neither offered the consistent low prices Walton did. So, when Walton finally opened his store, it transformed the lives of the Bentonville community. During the 1950s, America's economy was thriving, and Sam capitalized on it. He continually found new ways to reduce goods prices and keep customers satisfied. One day, Walton learned about self-service in the retail industry. The concept was simple. Instead of sales clerks retrieving goods, customers could enter the store, get items themselves, and pay at the entrance. Walton immediately loved the idea. This meant he could employ fewer people and further reduce his goods costs. Not only did this new strategy work perfectly, but it also tripled his income in less than a year. With more money, Sam had the funds and resources to further expand his business. For the next few years, Sam opened one store after another. By the end of the 1950s, Walton proudly owned 15 stores, acquired using borrowed money and profits. But Sam still felt he wasn't making as much profit as he should for his efforts. So he adopted a new strategy, one that would change everything. We exist to provide value to our customers, which means that in addition to quality and service, we have to save them money. Walton's idea was to build large stores that discounted everything they stocked, placing them in small towns. By drastically cutting prices, he would undercut competitors and compensate for the price difference through a higher volume of sales. This concept was already practiced across the country, but the difference was that discount stores tended to be small, located in cities. And most offered discounts only on specific items, not their entire stock. It was risky, and he needed substantial capital to make it work. Sam initially approached the company that franchised Ben Franklin stores with his idea, but they refused to support him, especially since his plan meant they would have to have their standard wholesale margin to accommodate his desired low prices. With no other options, Walton decided to take a huge gamble, mortgaged his home, borrowed a significant amount of money, and opened his first Walmart store in Rogers, Arkansas, in 1962. Customers were thrilled they didn't have to travel to the city for discounted goods. They flocked to Walmart's stores in droves, and the company's sales rose tremendously. In those years, Sam continued learning from competitors and developed new ways to further reduce prices. He replaced wooden shelves with cheaper, more durable metal ones. Another strategy was to keep his stores open longer than competitors, a unique Walmart practice that helped generate more money. He also ensured customers had large parking lots and, unlike competitors, never charged for parking spaces until 1969. Sam Walton funded his business expansion through profits and borrowing. But in 1970, he decided to take the company public. The initial offering generated about $5 million, allowing Walton and his family to retain approximately 61% ownership of the stock. This money enabled Walton to repay debts owed to banks, repay loans from friends, and proceed with his ambitious plans for the country. Between 1970 and 1971, Walmart added 6 more stores, followed by 13 stores in each of the next 2 years, then 14, and then 26. By the end of 1980, Walmart had a total of 276 stores, and from then on, they were opening about 100 stores per year. Sam believed that Walmart's rapid growth wasn't solely due to low costs attracting customers, but also to his close associates' work. Sam made his associates partners, ensuring they benefited from cash bonuses and stock options, giving them a chance to participate in the business's growth. Walton also ensured his stores were near warehouses to permit one-day delivery of goods while minimizing advertisement costs. Another innovation was the decision to buy directly from manufacturers, rather than through wholesalers, allowing him to lower prices even more. By the end of the 1970s, Walton had built his store into the fastest-growing and most influential force in the retail industry. Things were going so well that one investor who bought $1,650 worth of Walmart shares in 1970 saw their shares rise to over $700,000 by 1987 in 1983. Walton made another brilliant business move. He launched the first of his Sam's Wholesale Clubs, aimed at small business owners and others who wanted to buy goods in bulk. Once again, Walton struck gold, and by 1990, Walmart had over 1,000 stores and 150,000 employees. However, Sam had his share of critics who disliked him and his retail business. He was often criticized for competing with small retailers and forcing them out of business. Sam Walton himself acknowledged this, stating, "The small stores were just destined to disappear, at least in the numbers they once existed, because the whole thing is driven by the customers who are free to choose where to shop." Sam Walton passed away on April 5, 1992 at 74 years old. At the time of his death, Walmart's annual revenues exceeded $104 billion. Today, Walmart has grown to over 10,500 stores and generates well over $500 billion in revenue per year. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Till then, I'll see you next time.